You didn't text them back. You just closed the chat and walked away. It didn't feel like a big deal, but what if I told you that tiny decision may have saved your soul? Most people never see the accident they almost had, the heartbreak they nearly walked into, the sin that just barely missed, because Allah's protection doesn't always look like a miracle. Sometimes it just feels like peace. You didn't fall, you didn't get exposed, and you'll never know how close the trap really was. But your discipline, that one quiet act of restraint, rewrote a story you'll never have to live through. And that's what this video is about. 5 moments of quiet discipline that protected you from spiritual disasters you never even saw coming. Let's be real. Everyone knows that moment. You're alone, bored, one click away, and your nafs whispers, just for a second, just to see. Your hand hovers, the screen lights up, and something inside you says, no. You close the tab, you walk away. It feels small, but what you just did, that's not weakness, that's strength, because what your eyes consume, your heart follows. That first glance, that's the crack, the rest is the fall. So when you guard your gaze, you're not just protecting modesty, you're protecting your future. That small click becomes a habit, that habit becomes a cage, that cage becomes darkness. But you didn't let it. You chose Allah, in private. You walked away before Shaitan could decorate the sin. And maybe you'll never know what you dodged. Addiction, depression, spiritual emptiness. But you'll feel it in the days that still feel light. Some stories never happen, not because you were lucky, but because Allah protected you before the first page could begin. You said no to that invite, just a casual hangout, just a chill night out. But something didn't feel right, so you declined, stayed home, didn't explain it, didn't need to. Hours later, the group chat exploded, drama, secrets, arguments, friendships cracked, trust shattered, and you, miles away. At first you felt the FOMO, the regret, but now you realize that night could have stained you. Your name might have been dragged into something ugly. Your heart could have witnessed what it could never unsee. But Allah wrote your absence before the chaos even began. Because sometimes Allah doesn't just protect you during a disaster. He erases your name before it starts. You let go of the relationship you prayed for. You really thought it would work. You made dua, asked for signs, tried to convince yourself maybe this was Allah's plan, hidden in delays. But deep down you knew it wasn't haram yet, but it wasn't halal either. The line was thinning, the chats were deepening, the compromises kept growing. You delayed salah, you hid messages, you felt guilt, but you stayed, because your heart said, maybe this is a test that ends in nikah. But what if it wasn't a test? What if it was a trap? Walking away didn't feel like bravery. It felt like grief. But here's the truth. Not all pain is harm. Not all love is guidance. Sometimes Allah removes something you're begging Him to bless, because He knows what it would have turned you into. His silence wasn't rejection. It was protection. And you'll know it when you wake up lighter, when the Quran feels closer, when your salah feels like home again. Because sometimes when Allah pulls you away from someone, He's not taking from you, He's giving you back to yourself. The message was ready, typed perfectly, sharp, sarcastic, honest. You reread it, just to make sure it would land. But something stopped you. Your thumb hovered, and then you deleted it. They'll never know what you held back. But that moment, that was victory, not over them, over your ego. Because anger never walks in screaming fitna. It walks in dressed as justice, and when wrapped in truth, it becomes even more dangerous. But you paused, you swallowed the fire, and you let Allah witness your silence. The Prophet said, the strong one is not the one who overpowers others, but the one who controls himself in anger. That unsent message? It protected your dignity. Maybe your Akira, maybe someone else's heart from breaking. Imagine how many disasters begin with one angry send. And imagine how many were silently prevented by a single delete. They weren't there, but the gossip was. The jokes started light, then got personal, and you felt it. That pull between silence and courage, and then you said it. Let's not talk about them like that. The room went quiet. Maybe someone rolled their eyes. Maybe the subject changed. But that one line protected you. Because backbiting doesn't just hurt the one being spoken about. It poisons the speaker. It stains the listener. But when you speak up with sincerity, you invite angels instead of shaitan. The Prophet said, "Whoever defends his brother in his absence, Allah will protect his face from the fire on the day of judgment." They may never thank you, but Allah will never forget. You defended someone else's name and protected your own future. Let's ask the real question. What if the only reason you're still safe is because of the discipline you almost broke? You don't see the sins Allah pulled you away from. You don't get to watch the disasters He erased. But He did, again and again. Every time you chose to hold back, to pause, to walk away. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's the quiet story you'll one day thank yourself for. Because maybe you didn't get what you wanted, but you still have peace. And that might be the real gift. Allah says, "Whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and provide for him from where he does not expect." Surah At-Talaq 65, 2-3. So here's your reminder. Your discipline matters, even when no one sees, even when no one praises, even when it hurts. Because that one quiet moment of restraint, it might have saved your soul. Drop this in the comments. Ya Allah, protect me through the discipline I don't even understand yet. Share this reminder. You never know whose protection might begin with your words. May Allah reward your silent victories, cover your unseen mistakes, and protect you from every harm, especially the ones you never even saw coming. Ameen.